birthday, they're like, "Is it Christmas?" I'm like, "No." No, it's definitely not Christmas. So get
Oh,
that out of your head.
Christmas! Yay! What?
No Christmas. No Christmas allowed. We're going into spring. We're planting seeds here. So funny.
Garden things.
Oh, it's crazy. It really
Oh,
is crazy. Yeah, it was
uh,
funny.
oh,
They were so excited, but I killed it for them.
you grouch.
Yep. The Grinch
Yeah.
came out full on. Forget it. Not happening. Not happening at all. Oh, awesome. Okay, so I am going to get started right away. Welcome, Facebook world. Welcome, everybody, to our session tonight. Tonight's intention is going to be a beautiful meditation. We're going to go to the beach again and we're going to go to the fire again just because it's nice fiery energy in Aries here. I'm just going to admit another person here if my computer will let me. There we go. Perfect. Oh, need my crystals here. Got to get grounded. I just literally got back from picking up my daughter, so we were running around in the car, and I was just telling Margie and Heather that I found some beautiful snow geese on the way, and it was just, oh, it was so gorgeous. They're just huge and white and beautiful and very rare to see. You don't always see these snow geese, and it was so clearly like a mom and dad, so you can tell they're probably looking for a space to lay some eggs in the field. They're probably really confused because it snowed like crazy here last night. So I feel sorry for all these birds that are migrating back and forth. I've been seeing lots of herons and egrets and big, big old birds that are just absolutely captivating to watch start taking off. And I love the fact that the new moons and the full moons are sort of when they come in. So you kind of see this cycle of these birds just sort of, especially where I am in the north, where you just see them kind of coming back in and rolling in. So welcome, Arlene. So great to have you here. Yeah, this is such an exciting time. It's this really intense energy of this eclipse portal that's happened now, and the actual eclipse happened yesterday. So there was some people, if they're more in the southern hemisphere, if they were in Australia, they got to see it, where it was this beautiful. I watched it online and it was just like, oh, absolutely amazing. This you see the total eclipse happen. It's called a hybrid eclipse because it goes from a total eclipse to an annular eclipse to a total eclipse again, and then out. And so it sort of changes shapes. Normally with an eclipse, you just see it sort of come over the sun and it fully takes over with an annular eclipse, or with the ring of fire that you see. So we kind of got to see all of it yesterday. So that's why this hybrid eclipse was quite unique. It hasn't happened for, it's been at least a decade. There's only, when you get a hybrid eclipse like that, that's only 3% of the eclipses. So we have, 220 eclipse cycles in a family, and only 3% of those are these powerful hybrid ones. So it's kind of interesting because what's been coming up for a lot of people is not only the eclipse family, bringing us back to about 18 years ago, it's actually bringing us full circle. We're doing this kind of full circle thing that's happening over the last few years, and most certainly over the last few months. So over the last few years, we kind of look back at where we were a few years ago, and we're able to sort of see how far we've come, and to really embrace that, and to really enjoy that energy of how far we've come, kind of celebrate in a way that we are coming full circle, that we are making great shifts. But not only that, we can look at where we were a few years ago and some of those intentions that we had when we started out on this sort of more intense spiritual journey. And I had something really cool occur to me, and this is what these eclipse portals are for. This 2 weeks that we have in between now and the lunar eclipse that's coming up on the full moon, which is going to be extra powerful as well. What's going on is we're able to get some really clear messages and some really clear insights and some really divine solutions that are kind of going to come up more easily than they normally would. And so this is like this bookended version of not only where we were, but where we're going. And all of the answers are kind of there in between. And welcome to Heather. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. All of you guys were popping into my field today. I was thinking about you all a lot. And so it's nice to see you here in the field with me tonight, because this is going to be fun. So one of the things that occurred to me last night as I was trying to fall asleep again and just not having any luck, it's been the last few nights have been really strong in knowing that I was tired, like I was exhausted, and I was kind of doing the things that I've been teaching and talking about, where, not trying to not stay on my phone too late, trying to not be staring at the light, turning the lights down, changing even the lights in the settings in my phone, the blue light and this kind of stuff. And as I was falling asleep, I was literally feeling my body like twitch, and like I was wired. And I thought, oh, this is what I used to teach about being tired but wired. And this is, and all of these epiphanies kind of started coming to me. It's my cortisol levels. And although I'm not stressed per se, my hormones are definitely going through a big shift. And then I remembered this group that I started up called BioFlow about 3 years ago. If I was to look, it was probably even a little bit less. And it was probably, I'm going to look actually, just because now I'm curious. I didn't pop back on there today like I had planned, because today got kind of busy, but I was so all about the luteal cycles. And this is what sort of really got me into the cosmic influences of things, was how our infradian rhythm, which is not our circadian rhythm, can really affect our circadian rhythm. But our infradian rhythm is the hormonal cycle. And if I go back down onto my YouTube, down into the beginning, I had so many classes on hormonal balance and balancing your infradian rhythm and tuning into your cycles, your luteal phases, your follicular phases, your menstrual phases, your ovulatory phases, to maximize the potential of your body so that you could balance your hormones naturally without supplements or chemicals or anything. And over the last week, it's been funny, just, rolling through TikTok or whatever, all of a sudden, the hormonal stuff started coming up. And I was like, geez, that really, it's funny. I know all this, but I kind of stopped doing it myself. Like I was really good. I was always seed cycling. I was always making sure I was getting my flax and pumpkin and my sunflower and my sesame seeds on the right cycles. And I was really and I was feeling great. And I did that thing that we do where we have this sort of, you feel better, so you stop doing it. And I realized that I was thinking, it was some kind of spiritual thing, or I wasn't cleansing myself enough, or I wasn't being cognizant of, my energy, but it's my hormones. And it's just like this big, sort of hammer on the head epiphany. I got to get my hormones back in balance. And this is just the rolling scale of health and vitality. Like when I look at the things that I'm doing, not eating during the day, binging at night, that's high cortisol. Eating the wrong things, craving salty foods, just all of these things. And it was like so profound, even though I knew it all. I felt this full circle, this loop per se kind of close in, and I was just like, that is what I have to get back into. And then I'm like, oh, that is the message. That is the epiphany. That is how this all works. It's like little things dripping into your consciousness, but are we going to pay attention to those things, or are we going to be busy doing? And the Aries energy, and we're just tipping off onto the end of Aries energy now with this eclipse, was all about doing. And I must have said a few times last week, the theme of the week is don't just do something, stand there, pay attention to what's going on. Don't just be doing the things. Don't just think, oh, I've got to do keto again. I've got to do intermittent fasting again. I've got to do, because those things for me, for some reason, wasn't feeling right. And I wasn't able to just jump into it. I kept saying, I need to do a fast. I need to do a fast. But something inside of me clicked last night as I was trying to fall asleep and like twitching and driving myself crazy, because for the last few nights it's been like 3, 4 in the morning by the time I finally fall asleep, and then I'm tired all day, and then I'm like, why am I so tired all day? And it was just like hormones. It just kept coming up. This is the answer. This is the answer. Listen, right? So getting these huge messages, all of a sudden it felt so clear. When I went to the grocery store today, I was all of a sudden buying like the yogurt with the protein, and I got my chia seeds again because I had run out and just I needed to get more, and then I needed some sunflower seeds and I couldn't find them at the time. So I went to my favorite little shop and got all my seeds today and sort of got everything that I needed to support myself for this week. And it's just feeling so right versus kind of forcing yourself into something that doesn't quite feel right, but you feel like you have to do something, so you do something. So it's just like this beautiful aha moment. Welcome, Nikki. This beautiful aha moment. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm just like babbling on about some of the epiphanies that I've had this week, and how it sort of came full circle to a few years ago. Just my focus was I had this group that it has about 300 people in it on Facebook that I was just sort of pilfering all this information out about hormones and how to balance your cycle for your circadian rhythm and all this kind of stuff. And it really occurred to me last night as I was trying to fall asleep that that's something that's really going on with me right now, and it feels so right. And so today I was just all about kind of getting myself supported for this. And this is what I want you guys to know about these next couple weeks, because we've now entered this eclipse portal. Last week was about preparing ourselves for it, kind of cleaning up some of that mess, some of the things that were popping up. A lot of people were having either really big triggers, and so it was kind of setting them off, or they were having really big epiphanies, and that was kind of setting them off, because it was like, whoa, it was a lot. And this week is going to be very intense in a lot of the epiphanies we're going to be having, some of the triggers that we're going to be having. And this isn't to place fear in us at all, but what it is to let us know that this is going to be happening, and how we choose to deal with it is going to really markedly portray and sort of be the play out of the next 6 months. So if we find ourselves in a moment where this energy that's coming in, this really intense eclipse energy, it's going to be triggering people. And you guys might have already noticed this in people outside the realm of our magnetic mind community, or outside of the realm of spiritual journeys. They're flying off the handle. They're having meltdowns and temper tantrums. They're just kind of like knee-jerk reacting to things that are happening. And so this gives us a chance to know, okay, some things are going to come up, especially like around Tuesday, around the 24th next week, Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be kind of a triggery day, so make sure that your self-care, that you have enough sleep, that you are being around people that you kind of want to be around, because that's going to be one of the more explosive days. And it's really neat too, looking into the collective consciousness and even government, financial institutions. There's all sorts of charts done. Like there's certain people that even do charts on, say, Bitcoin and the financial um, big companies and all this kind of stuff. There's going to be big changes happening, and it will be for the better. A lot of this stuff has to be cleaned up, but where Pluto is, it's the death and rebirth planet, so it's going to be making big things happen. So there's going to be some deaths of old world views, there's going to be some births of new world views, there's going to be some enlightenment happening around government, around health, around, there's going to be announcements, there's going to be even as far as things such as volcanoes. When you look at Hawaii, it was actually it that the volcanoes that erupted that made some of the Hawaiian islands happened in this last eclipse family hundreds of years ago that actually created new lands. And this is something that they're predicting now. There's a big jump in the Schumann frequency, in the frequency of the earth. There is a huge meteor shower happening. It snowed again. I was joking earlier, some of you might not have heard, but some of the kids I was with today were like, it's Christmas again. It's like we have this Colorado low that brought in this crazy wind and snow. And I mean, it's the end of April. Some farmers are usually planting by now. We have snow everywhere at the moment, and so there's things happening all over the world, literally on a world level. And I feel like what I really want to share is that the more work that we do, calming our minds, being that leader of sorts, being that grounded, balanced spirit of the light worker in this time is needed more than ever. And so for us to embrace the balance of that, embrace our light energy, to be able to take a couple of deep breaths before we respond, to respond in a respectful, non-harming, kind, beautiful, energetic way that we know that we are capable of. That is the key. That is what is going to create more balance in the world, if that makes sense. I know we're just little people, but on a collective, there's more and more of us doing this together. And the more we can keep grounded, especially in these next couple weeks, is literally life or death, is pertinent, because we could easily allow the energy to almost take over and not be conscious of where we're going. If we were to still live in our ego mind, in those old beliefs, in those old patterns, in those fears, in those lower frequencies, we're just going to create more of that. And it's we are the light, we are the balance of the world right now. So we really need to keep in check, not only for our own lives to be able to manifest what it is that we want, but really on a collective level. So this is a time where I keep saying it's like solutions are going to come easily. It's like answers are going to come. So being really clear on your highest version of yourself and on your highest life's visions. What if we were to, just for the next couple weeks, really take our true end vision of being that predominant creative force in our life, of being our true nature and purpose, those ones we don't always go to. We always think of a life we love. We always think of health and vitality. We can tend to focus on those a little bit more, but really dialing in our energy to our truest, highest, authentic version of ourselves. We're going to do a meditation tonight that's going to bring us into that. And we're going to talk to some fun ancestors and archangels, and we're going to do a little sacred geometry, quantum jumping type of meditation, where we are just literally allowing some of these things to be revealed to us in a beautiful way. So knowing that we might not have all the answers just yet, but if we trusted and focused each day on this new identity, on this identity of this person who is grounded, who is following through, who is magical, who is creating worlds. If we just dove into that energy, that will be what we're focusing on, because truly over these next couple weeks, whatever we are focusing on is going to grow exponentially. It's going to grow in massive ways. And that is why it is so imperative and so important to know what we're focusing on, to be conscious, to be even taking 5 or 10 minutes a day. It's that 10 minutes a day is all you got to do, really, to focus on that true intention, to focus on that higher self. What if we just, believed it? What if we just wrote it down every day? What if we just made for 2 weeks a promise to ourselves to be spiritually engaged, to be looking for those signs all around us, like the two geese I saw. I still have to dive into that a little bit more. Actually, I opened up my book really quickly, and it is about releasing old patterns, but appreciating where we've come from, and really appreciating this is a cycle these last few years. And this is how I got rambling about the hormones about 3 years back right now. And more importantly, 3 weeks back is where we're sort of able to close some of these loops. And some of these loops started a few years ago, and they're kind of coming into completion. So it's such a beautiful time to really be able to stay focused on what it is that we are consistently wanting to take action on every day. Like really, really staying true to that. Like, I know coffee is one of the things that I have to give up. Um, but if someone was to tell me I have to give up coffee right now, I'd be like, mm-mm. But I can go for I can start balancing my melatonin cycle out by getting outside every morning for my at least 10-minute walk. Like, just even if I only have 10 minutes, if you can get outside in the first bit of the day and get that sunshine, it actually helps your melatonin production, which is going to help you sleep at night, which is going to help you be more awake during the day. So if we've been noticing we're exhausted, we have 244 hormones that are just flowing through our system all the time. There's a few major ones that will really be affected by things like blue light, by sunlight, by absorbing that sunlight, stargazing, sun gazing, incorporating these things again, getting the seeds back in our diet, getting, high protein, making sure that we're staying grounded, because protein's going to ground you. And as we move into Taurus energy, it's all about grounding. And so grounding is really important right now. There's the grounding. It's hard to even get grounding wires right now. They're flying off the shelves. People are knowing they need them. They don't know why. They have no idea that this is the actual zodiac sign that is all about grounding, and it's actually collectively making us want to do this. But people are looking for the Tesla pendants again. They're looking for ways to ground themselves, right? We haven't been able to get out and really ground, for a lot of us in the Northern Hemisphere anyways, that are in this snow dense covered earth. It's just been crazy. So the big things we need to do right now are really focusing on our clarity, on writing things down. Writing is so, so valid. It creates that neuroplasticity. It allows it to be sunk into our subconscious, into our superconscious, and our conscious mind all at the same time. It's like a hack. Like, just write the things that you really want, write the things that feel good, write the intentions that you have, write down some of these messages that you're getting, some of this clarity, keeping your dearest wishes and your projects sort of cared for, keep them nourished, these things that we've started, actually nourishing it every day. This is like, you've planted these seeds. Now, if you don't water them, they are not going to grow. And I literally have a table outside my office here with tomatoes all over it, a big banquet table. And this morning I was like, ooh, if I don't water those, they're not going to grow. And I'm like, oh, that's just like my intentions. Like, it's just, everything is just a beautiful message. And we need to trust ourselves. Whenever we don't feel safe, right? Whenever we have that feeling of not being safe, not feeling, or feeling fear, or feeling anger or rage, there's something that we're not trusting. And oftentimes It's ourselves that we're not trusting because of limiting beliefs, because of us letting us down before, because of us not following through, because of us, what if we just trusted ourselves for these next 2 weeks? So I want to put this out to you guys to really embrace the power of these next 2 weeks, because it's not only never going to be easier, because we are cosmically supported to be doing this right now, not only on a collective level, but a consciousness level and a cosmic level. It's literally never going to be easier to really set forth these intentions of what we want to do. So if you've been waiting to do something, been waiting to start something, even if it's just one little thing, it often is too much if we try and do everything all at once. So we just have to take those baby steps that feel good, listen to those little messages that just make sense, that just feel good to us, right? Really kind of trusting ourselves and trusting that we will move forward every day, and knowing that we're looked after, that we're loved, that that energy is abound, that it's just holding us to these intentions that we're setting. Good evening, Samara. Welcome. Hi. I've been yabbering a lot, so you might have to catch up on the first half of the messages, but I know you'll find them very fitting. So I won't go too far into repeating because I end up repeating myself
That's
usually
fine.
anyway. So
I'll catch the replay.
you will absolutely. And we haven't started meditation, so it's perfect timing as always. Um, so this couple weeks coming forward is all sort of about walking your talk. Notice the things that you teach people, notice the things that you've been telling people, notice the good advice that you have, and actually start really being that identity, whichever way that shows up for you. For me, it's all of this knowledge that I have about hormone balance. It's actually the key to me really feeling well enough to go forward with everything that I want to create. Because if we don't have our health, it's really hard to, sort of have the energy, right, to keep on keeping on. And so for me, that was a really big epiphany. And I'll apologize now to my people in the group, because you'll probably hear me talking about hormones a lot over the next couple of weeks now. I always get on these little rants. Last couple of months has been all about cleaning up the messy mind, and knowing too that that was all in perfect timing as well, doing that sort of deep dive, letting those roots push up some of the origins of the story so that they could be seen in this pre-eclipse time, so that now we can just kind of move forward, noticing what's going on. So next week is going to be a little intense. And so knowing that, we cannot be afraid, we can actually feel a little bit almost at ease, or a little bit of freedom from that, knowing that this stuff is going to be coming into our field, especially anything that is not in alignment with us anymore. So there may have been things that a few years ago we brought into our field because of us wanting to, even things like people pleasing, or that those limiting beliefs of not being worthy. That was a really big one that we worked on over our last month or two. When we are coming from a place of that, we tend to not trust ourselves, because we're always looking for that outside approval. That outside, we get our approval from other people feeling that we're wonderful or telling us that we're wonderful. We get it from, we were getting something from that, right? It allows us to not have to trust ourselves. So this is a bit of an unknown time. And instead of fearing the unknown, I'm asking that we really embrace the unknown, and we really allow ourselves to dream a little bit over the next couple of weeks. Really, like I say, write these down, write down some of these dreams, write down some of these things that just feel good. Write down even the weird things, like certain things may come into your field and you might not know exactly how or why, but they're coming in definitely for a reason. So we got to get through this week. This week is going to be, like I say, a little bit intense. So keep yourself grounded as much as possible, so that when those things do come up, we will tend to have the the intention of calming the mind, even using, I started talking about the 21-day detox there for a minute because there was some good things in there, like a 10-second pause, allow yourself as you're breathing in to think and feel, and then just make a choice. How do I want to feel now? Okay, I'm going into acceptance at that moment too. Here, where I am is where I am, but where do I want to go? Choosing where you want to go from here, making your decision right from that. 10 seconds, the body resets itself every 10 seconds. So we have the opportunity to do that. We just sometimes get caught up, especially when things are a little tumultuous. We may get attacked by someone, not physically, but emotionally. Someone might kind of just like blah, just sort of spew at us. It's so important that we don't spew back. It's so important that we not even bite our tongue, but just be very conscious of what we're saying, what we're putting out as energy, so that we can create some ripples of light and bring some light into other people's fields, because we are light workers. We are all here to spread that light around the world. So this first week is going to be all about showing you how to work with the energy, and contrast is always showing us what we don't like. Noticing those things that just don't feel good, noticing that those are maybe things that we can shift from our field in one way or the other. I just don't want to be treated like that anymore, and maybe this was okay in the past, but it's just not anymore. And being able to speak your truth from a respectful, honored place, rather than just like, I'm not taking this anymore. It can be, because it can really go either way very quickly. It's gonna be happening this week, so I'm just saying, be grounded, be ready to respond in the way that you intend to, versus having these sort of um energetic bursts come out where we have regrets, and then we have the guilt, and then let's just not go there. Let's just breathe and respond, and really understand that this is being shown to you, not as punishment, not because you didn't deal with it, but because it just is not in alignment with where you're going anymore. And that's why it doesn't feel good. And that's where this strong energy is coming from, because it's like, no, this really doesn't feel good. It's because we're really strongly getting these messages of what is truly in alignment with our highest, most authentic self. And this is what we're coming back to in this stage right now, especially with Pluto in there. And Pluto is strong right until May. We also have the Mercury retrograde that's starting, and that's a bit of that communication stuff, right? So we know this. I love knowing this stuff, because it's like, if we can be prepared for it, it's so much easier to deal with, rather than just feeling like we're losing our minds, because we're not crazy. It's crazy to not know this and to try and function during life, which is why you see many people losing their poop right now. Like, they just are. They're not able to hold it together anymore, because it's, for them, it's not in alignment either, but they're not making those shifts. So it just seems to kind of drag them down even more. So it's going to be a really fast paced week. And so I want us to just kind of be prepared for that energetically, but there's going to be daily opportunities coming in with that too, just dripping in for us. So when we're aware of those opportunities as, oh, you know what, I think I might actually really feel like doing that. I think this actually is time for me to do. It's going to feel really good. But we're also shifting these old patterns, right? We're having to let a lot of this go. So just notice that the rewards are going to come really quickly, the challenges are going to come really quickly, and then we kind of get into that next week where we're getting a little bit of gentler energy. It's going to not be so tumultuous, but it is going to be very enlightening. So we want to make sure that we're literally, as we're coming into that full moon, that anything that is kind of ready to really shift out, that we are ready to make that work happen. We are ready to make that actual shift happen. So when we talk about new moons, it's all about what we're bringing in. So as we go into the meditation tonight, we're going to become our most mature, our most responsible, our most authentic selves, and we're going to embrace advice from realms abound. And I want you to really think about those things that you've been really ready to kind of bring into your life. Think about some of that energy, some of that alignment that was occurring, like I said last week, around 2005, some of that energy that was aligning. We get with an eclipse a second chance. It may not be that the same kind of traumas come up, thank goodness, because for a lot of us there was some crazy stuff that happened. But it's kind of like now I know what I know instead of thinking, oh, if I only knew then what I know now. Now we know. Now we have this opportunity to respond in different ways. It's we feel differently. We've shed a lot of crap over the last few years. And this is kind of what this is to show us how far we have come and how much farther we can go. So when we're diving into the meditation tonight, what I want us to do is this came in with Samara the other day, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning your name, but I feel like you were part of that energy that brought this in, is the movement of energy through the body. And the Mula Bandha keeps coming up for me, and every time I'm meditating, I'm really finding myself doing this. The Mula Bandha is that root chakra, that root energy that when we take a breath, and I know a lot of you guys know about this anyways, but when we take a breath and we pull up, almost like I have been having this vision of a winch in the brain that's got this big net around the pelvic floor, and it's almost like this winch is just pulling up this pelvic floor, and it's just plunging it up towards the head. And so as we breathe in, what we're going to do is we're going to tighten all these muscles. We're going to literally tighten the sphincters. So the front, the middle, the back, all of the sphincters from inside the pelvic floor. We're going to imagine it all being scooped up by this basket or this net and just being winched up and is almost forced or plunged up into the top of the head. So it's like you're drawing your breath and it's just plunging all the breath up to the head. And as we breathe out, we just relax all of our muscles. We relax the shoulders, we relax the pelvic floor, we let it go. And as we breathe in, we again imagine the net. So we're going to take about 3 to 5 nice, good Mula Bandha breaths, and we're going to really engage that root. And the super cool thing about Mula Bandha is there's research shown in the brain waves, when you engage Mula Bandha, the negative thought patterns literally disappear. So if you're having a hard time even kind of getting into gratitude or getting into appreciation, getting into those higher vibe emotions, that Mula Bandha breath is really, really powerful because we can't actually think negative thoughts. So it allows that vibration to shift almost immediately. So we're going to do that as a bit of a uh, intention, encouragement for the meditation to really get our mind, body, and soul all in balance and have that new creation, that new life be able to just be flowing. I'm picturing the word Pono just came into mind, where it's like new life. It's actually creation. It's harmony, and so it's like picturing this volcano actually pushing out these new lands, these new worlds, and creating them around, just like the islands of Hawaii. So we're just going to allow that to just flow from our bodies, minds, and souls. So really know that this next couple weeks is about letting go some of this old stuff, almost like chains that have been holding us down. And you can do visualization, you can do meditation, you can do just a 5-10 minute walk where you're just even talking to yourself, allowing these words to come out, allowing this to come out, noticing what you're feeling, saying what you're feeling in a safe space, not just packing it all down and being Susie Sunshine to everybody, rainbows and sparkles coming out of your butt, but really allowing yourself to notice what is coming up. And as you meditate, even ask the universal energy to just take this away, to just breathe it out into the white light of this eclipse light and just allow this change to happen. So I feel like jumping on into meditation time, if you guys are okay with that. So get comfortable as you can, and it doesn't matter if you're sitting or lying. Some people, even for eclipse energy meditation, start with standing and doing the mula bandha. But I like sitting because then you can actually relax the muscles really well, and you can feel your butt muscles actually sort of relaxing into the chair or even lying. So get as comfortable as you can. Oh, my body's already releasing. This is wonderful. And we're going to start by just focusing on our breath. And I want you to pay attention to your belly expanding as you breathe in and deflating as you breathe out. We're going to breathe in through the nose and we're going to breathe out through the mouth. And we're going to engage that mula bandha. So when you're ready, I want you to start taking your first deep breath in. And as you do, I want you to imagine all of those muscles contracting and pulling up like there's a big winch in the brain that's just cranking it all up as you breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, plunge all this air, plunge the air and the breath up to the head. And when you're ready, you can release that switch and the winch will just let go and you will relax and breathe out and relax all those muscles at the same time. Imagine your shoulders relaxing. Imagine your spine decompressing. Imagine your pelvic floor just relaxing. Let all those muscles go like you're going to let yourself actually relieve yourself. Imagine that. And now breathing in again. We're going to pull up all that energy, pulling it up like it's a big basket, breathing in, drawing that energy up, breathing those muscles up, tightening them, bringing them to the top of the head, bringing that air, allowing those muscles to contract and push all the air up into the head as much as you can, and then breathing out. You can even have a sound as you breathe out, relaxing all those muscles. Feel your shoulders relax, elongate your neck. Feel your eyes relax, feel your face relax. And when you're ready, we're going to breathe in about 2 more times, bringing that net up. Imagine all those muscles contracting, tightening, pushing that air up to the top of the head. See if you can push even more air up that you did before. Breathing that up, imagining that air all going up to the top of your head, tightening those muscles, contracting, contracting, and then releasing as you breathe out. Just let that winch go, just unwind that rope, let that net just fall, relaxing your forehead, relaxing your skull, relaxing your jaw, breathing out, relaxing your pelvic floor, feeling all those muscles relax. Do another nice 1 or 2 breaths like this where you're just breathing in, tightening that mula bandha, tightening, tightening, pulling it up, drawing it all up, pushing that air up towards the top of the head. And as you release, just imagine all of the muscles in your body relaxing, your arms, your shoulders, your chest, your stomach, just releasing, and let that pelvic floor fall and relax, connect with it. One last one for good measure. We're just going to draw that energy up, using the energy from the pelvic floor to push that energy up, push that breath up to the top of the head. Taking a nice deep breath in, pushing all that air up to the top of the head. And then as you release, let everything go. All of your muscles. Feel your spine decompressing. Feel your spine elongating and relaxing. Beautiful. And now just going into rhythmic breathing, however feels good for you. I want you to just imagine your heart center starting to open as you just feel that energy moving through your body. And just noticing that that energy is starting to move through the body as we absorb this light from this gorgeous hybrid solar eclipse, this powerful solar eclipse that just happened, this powerful new moon energy that lights up the stars, that lights up all the little planets, subplanets, all of the dwarf planets, lighting them all up, and imagining your crown chakra opening right now as it's absorbing all of the light from the cosmos down into your body, almost like it's showering you with white light, like it's showering you with white energy. And just feel that energy moving throughout your body, almost like little cell cleaners, cell scrubbers that are just moving through, I want you to pay attention to any area in your body right now, maybe an area that's been feeling a little bit dense, or any area that your consciousness is really right currently calling you to pay attention to. There may be an area lower in your body. It could be your headaches that you've been having. It could be the neck pain or the discomfort. It could be tension. It could be somewhere in your spine or your rib cage that's just feeling like it needs a little energy and love. And could be the low back or the hips. Pay attention to that lower body, the legs, the knee chakras, the energy flowing through the legs may have felt a little bit cut off. Feeling little twitches all over right now in my body. Notice your energy in your body, connecting to this beautiful solar energy, this amazing star energy that is just coming in through your crown, and allow it to come down to that area. Allow it to start washing and swirling, transmuting. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine breathing this denseness out. And as you breathe it out of your body, it turns into more white light, into universal energy. Just being able to create space in the body with whatever was being held, just allowing that to be let go right now. Just acknowledging it and just allowing it to move through. And as we do that, I want you to take notice of your feet. And I want you to feel your feet connecting to the ground, connecting to Mother Earth, connecting to this new earth energy, these energetic shifts that have been happening, and allow these light codes to connect through little roots in your feet. And imagine those roots just burrowing down into the ground, just like seeds you've planted. Those roots are starting to take shape. They're starting to grow, starting to tap into Mother Earth's energy. And allow this energy to clear and transmute any denseness in your body, any codes that are coded in there that you're ready to simply shift out of your consciousness, that don't fit in the alignment of where you're going, in the alignment of your truest, highest self. And imagine almost like you're plugging into the computer of the earth, and these codes are being slowly erased and rebalanced and recoded, almost like an upgrade. Nothing that you have is lost, but you're getting all the upgrades of the earth that she's ready to share with you, and you are ready to receive. And I want you to just for a moment think about in your mind's eye what you are truly ready to receive. Think about the prosperity, the freedom. Think about the abundance, the joy, the love, the light that you're ready to just receive fully into your life, all encompassing, and allow that new light code to start regenerating your whole body, almost like it's triggering little power centers that are all of a sudden hopping on board. And I want you to imagine right now that you are outside, you are feeling all of this star energy just coming in through your body, coming in through your crown, feeding in your whole body, every area. And I want you to imagine that you're walking on a beach. Notice how your legs feel as they take one step after the other. Notice, are they touching? Are they sweeping against each other? Are you dancing? Are you slowly walking? Are your heels going down first, or are your toes? Are you getting closer to the water? How far away from the water are you walking? How does the sand feel underneath your bare feet? Does it feel cool? Does it feel warm from the sun still? Just noticing whatever you notice, just observing. And I want you to imagine that you can see a big bonfire off in the distance, and it looks like a lot of fun. And as you're walking there, I want you to invoke the spirits, the archangels that come from each direction, that are just genuinely meant for us to heal. I want you to acknowledge Archangel Michael as he's walking beside you. He's behind you in the south where he always is. He provides safety and strength. He provides protection for you in all areas of your life. And anytime you're feeling safe, you can feel Archangel Michael having his arms around you from behind you in a beautiful angelic light. And now imagining on your right, Archangel Raphael from the east, that healing energy, that comforting, soothing, leaving behind anything that doesn't serve us, any limiting beliefs. Just he can just take those away. Just imagine handing them over to him as he walks beside you, feeling that light energy of Archangel Raphael. And in front of you in the north, you want to feel Archangel Uriel, who is always there, always in front of you, always guiding the way, always providing stability when we feel like we have none, keying in that balance that we need, showing us exactly how those scales are tipping, always looking forward, imagining that energy being able to simply allow us to adjust the teeter-totter, the balance scales, knowing that he's always on the other side showing you exactly how to balance this out. Just ask him. And to the left, we have Archangel Gabriel. To the west, that pure cleansing white light that you can feel right now, breathing in and out. Love, peace, harmony, releasing old wounds, releasing grief, releasing sadness, and just allow him to take whatever you don't need right now, whatever you are ready to let go of, even if it's just a small bit. Hand it over to the west, to the power of Archangel Gabriel. He's always there, soothing our wounds, bandaging them, holding us in peace and love. And I want you to notice as you've been walking, you're very close to this bonfire now, and there's some familiar faces around this bonfire. And there's some faces you may never have seen before. But the first face that I want you to gaze upon, I want you to realize, is the oldest, most mature version of you in physical form. This legacy of you, this oldest person that you can imagine yourself being, with all the wisdom, this senior citizen, if you may, that has the answers, that has the stories, that has the wisdom, that could just give you some advice right now. And I want you to go up beside that person and hold their hands. My hands are getting really hot right now, so I'm just gonna give you guys some energy as you do this. Just imagine yourself taking a seat beside this oldest, maturest version of you, this true, authentic self, the one that really doesn't give a crap about any of those limiting beliefs anymore, the one that's let all of those go, the one that has designed this legacy to leave in your light. Perhaps they maybe only even have a few days, weeks, or months left, but they have all of the answers of where you were headed. They went there, they did it, and now they have some beautiful advice for you. And I want you to just ask them, what are some of the most important things I need to do right now in my life, in this eclipse light, in this moment? What was life-changing? And just listen. Perhaps they pass you a note. Perhaps they just look into your eyes, just gaze into their eyes. See your own eyes. many years from now, staring at you with such love and such admiration. They're so proud of you for how far you've come. They're wishing that you could see how magical you really are. Allow them to give you a little bit of advice. Notice where they're sitting. Are they on the north, the east, the west, the south? What other little things can you notice about them? Do they seem otherworldly? Are they on a different plane? You're jumping into their timeline right now, moving ever so effortlessly and so gently, and they're so graceful in what they tell you. Perhaps you can't hear the message exactly right now, but they're going to give you a little letter that you can read later that may have the exact advice that you need. I want you to just let go of their hand, take that letter, give them a hug, thank them, look them straight in the eyes. Notice how beautiful they are. Notice how peaceful, how balanced, how joyous they are. And now I want you to look on the other side of you and notice that someone else is standing there. There's a loved one, someone who loved you more than anybody else. You were their favorite. They may be on this earthly plane or they may have passed. And they're opening their arms so that you'll come and slide in beside them and feel that warmth of sitting beside them, beside the campfire, beside the beautiful bonfire. And they just want to hold you and they just want to stroke your hair. And they just want to tell you how proud they are of you. And they also have a piece of advice, something that you may never have thought of. And I want you to ask them, what is it that you can tell me that will help me be my most authentic self, that will help me on my highest timeline? And in their loving way, in their loving voice, I want you to listen to what they have to say. I'm feeling very tearful and emotional with this one. There's a lot of trust. They want you to trust yourself. Notice what else they tell you. Just feels so good to be in their arms, to smell the way they smell. Notice what they're wearing, what kind of clothes, just sitting by the campfire, enjoying every moment. Allow them to just love you. Allow yourself to feel that again in just the most beautiful and profound way. And again, if you can't hear exactly what it is they need to say, perhaps they want to also give you a little letter that you can read later, and I'd like you to just put that in your pocket. And I want you to give them the biggest hug. You may never want to let go of them. And in fact, if you want to stay with them, you can. They can hold you the whole time. And these other people in your sacred geometry, in your field, can come up to you and give you some more advice and some more lessons. So you can either get up and go to the next direction and the next rock or the next chair, the next, I'm seeing big overturned trees that people are sitting on, like long logs. And I want you to just allow the next person that wants to come forward. This is an animal, a pet, someone who is very important to you may still be in your life. They may come running up just to let you know they're still with you, just to let you know that you were the best thing in their lives. And if they're on the other side, they may have some other advice for you. They knew you better than anyone. They saw you at your darkest and your deepest and your most shadowy work that you ever did. They were there for chapters of your life. And as you touch their fur, as you feel them beside you, as you embrace them, ask them if they could tell you anything, what would it be? For you to truly become your highest self, for you to stay true to that timeline that you know you're really meant for. Maybe even give you some insight. You could ask them, what am I supposed to be doing? Am I doing the right thing? Listen to what they have to say. This is divine energy at work right now. And last but not least, I want us to ask the superconscious, who knows all, who has all the information. Ask them if there's anyone else. Ask the superconscious. Is there anyone else that wants to come forward right now? It may be a best friend, maybe a loving partner, or it may be superconscious itself, giving you this multi-perspective access point of view. It's been watching all of this. It's been watching you on your journey. It's been with you. It has all of the memories involved, including past lives, past generations, current generations, current issues, as well as your future timeline. And I want you to ask the superconscious to show you this highest version of yourself, this highest timeline, maybe just one little thing. You may not be able to see it all, you may not be able to know it all, but with this eclipse light, with this new moon, what are you going to bring in? If we were to just allow that eclipse light to open a crack of light that is shining down onto you right now, the superconscious can see this all and give you the answer. And I want you to notice an envelope, a letter appearing in your hand. And now go and take a seat right beside the fire. And I want you to imagine yourself embraced inside of a beautiful Merkaba, a beautiful golden Merkaba, like wires that are being weaved around you in safety right now, that can transport you to any timeline you want. And I want you to start opening these letters as you feel yourself sitting inside this Merkaba. Open these letters up, read them from all of these versions of loved ones that came down to shed some light on what it is that you need to know. And imagine the light from the eclipse shining onto things you've never seen before, lighting up this Merkaba, allowing you to time travel into any realm, into any possibility. And then I want you to really believe that this can be true. The letters may be too much to read right now. You may not see the letters clearly. You've got them though. any moment that you need to, any moment in meditation, you can dig in your pocket and pull out these letters. They're written just for you. They have magic written inside of them. That magic has come from your deepest desires. And as you sit there in this Merkaba, I want you to feel all of the cords of the past, all of the secrets, all of the things that you've been ready to let go of, all of those energies that are tapped in that you just no longer wish to be tapped in. I want you to imagine the light from inside that golden Merkaba is literally disintegrating where those cords are attached to you. Notice them dropping off of your body. Notice them being unplugged. Notice them maybe being cut, pulled away, detached, allowing all of these old limiting beliefs, those feelings of unworthiness, those feelings of pain, those feelings of grief, all these chains, like chains that have been holding you down and keeping you heavy. I want you to feel these all just releasing from your body in this light energy right now as this eclipse just lights up your Merkaba. And as it gets lighter and lighter, you can feel it starting to float. And I want you to imagine it picking you up off that seat, sitting in it, and starting to float you towards your truest timeline of being that creative, powerful warrior that you are. Bringing you truly towards your nature and purpose, and allowing yourself to just float there, to just even see yourself moving inside of that gorgeous Merkaba. Taking you to the timeline that you're destined to be on. Eclipses are for timeline jumping. They are for quantum jumping. This light is going to allow you to float to exactly where you need to go. Imagine trusting yourself enough to just let it go. Ask the superconscious to show you some of the things that may be in that higher timeline, how it may feel. Looking at the big picture, feeling the freedom, feeling the glow, feeling the joy, feeling the relief. And allowing that Merkaba to drop you down into that timeline. You're already there. It feels so light, it feels so joyous. It feels so relieving to just let all of that stuff go. My voice is even changing in this realm. When you're ready, we are going to take a few nice receiving breaths of receiving this energy, receiving these words, receiving these letters, receiving this advice, this knowledge, this wisdom, feeling the freedom of those cords being detached, and just noticing nothing around you but white light, protecting you, keeping you grounded. I'm just going to hold the heart space for a moment here as it continues to do some healing and feeling some things in and around that left shoulder, and taking a few nice deep breaths, just literally allowing anything else to release in this light. Anything keeping you from jumping into that timeline. And when you're ready, you can start wiggling a toe, start coming back to this plane. Coming back with the understanding that this realm of this eclipse portal is going to be rather fifth dimensional. It's going to be rather surreal. And maybe making a few promises to yourself that you will, for this 2 weeks, really stay intentional. You will stay within your power. You will utilize this power we have. You will understand and recognize this magic that you have. That's truly at your fingertips. You may notice even you may hear things. You may hear almost like voices in the background. You may hear shifts. You may feel as though you're tuning into a different frequency. Just paying attention. Allowing any denseness to just truly be transmuted into this light of the all-knowing, into this light of the magic, and choose to be this all-powerful creator that you know that you are. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight and enjoying this meditation. It's very fiery energy. We can put anything in the fire that we need to. We can do candle ceremonies with the new moon. We have a couple more days of this energy of writing down what it is that we really want to bring into our lives. So I encourage you to write. I encourage you to just put a pencil or pen to paper and just see what comes out. You don't even intentionally need to know what you're going to write down. But just allow the pen to be that conduit for you to see. And even with the letters that were coming, perhaps you could even start writing and you could read that letter. It's a beautiful energy to be in, to be able to do this. And on Monday in group, I'll give more of a day-to-day kind of instructional version of how to sort of maximize each day that we have coming up. But know that around the 24th or so, it can be a little bit tumultuous. So just be really cognizant of your balance and your staying grounded that day. Really make sure that you're taking care of yourself and listen to those messages, knowing that you're not crazy, but this is your highest true self speaking to you. Oh, I'm so glad. I love you too. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to stop the Facebook